Hello everybody, welcome to Ageless Rock channel. In this video, I would like to share with you a very impressive cave, but yet it seems like no one is promoting it as a tourist spot. For those with megalithic lands, this site will be a mind-blowing cave because it proves that the unknown ancient builders were here. Bazda Cave is in the district of Haran in the province of Sanliurfa. It is only about 15 kilometers from the Syrian border. It is also known as Al-Bazdu Cave or Al-Bazda Cave or Bazda Cave. There are Arabic inscriptions on the rocks that led to the belief that it was a 13th century quarry. It is not hard to see that the later civilization quarried stones from here. But did they start from scratch or was it already cut out long before humans came along? Can be debated until the cows come home. The site looks like a quarry at first glance because of the blocky and edgy appearance. The cutout can go as high as 15 meters. It is said to have tunnels that links to other entrances and some parts of the labyrinth are 3 levels deep. Some of the names that appear are Abdurrahman al-Hakkari, Muhammad ibn Ibakir, and Muhammad al-Uzar. So the mainstream narrative is that for hundreds of years, many stones were quarried for construction in Shuaib city, Ka al-Ba'ur city, and Haran city. There is no reason to doubt that stones were quarried from here to build houses nearby, and those settlements eventually became villages and one became a town or city. But there are many questions unanswered as well if this is concluded as a quarry. To quarry stones by cutting blocks from the inside is opposite to common sense. Stone quarries are logically done by removing blocks from top to bottom starting from the side. What kind of tools were used here to leave such marks on the wall? If you were to continue cutting 1000 blocks from here, where would you start and continue? Just take a look at this photo where if you were to continue quarrying, you will need to have a ladder to cut and saw the bedrock from the top and find a way to prevent it from crashing on the ground. The leftover shows that the unknown ancient builders had a very strange way of cutting bedrock. Whether you have modern tools or ancient tools, you will still use the easiest method of cutting blocks of stones from a bedrock. After cutting for many years and abandoning it, one can only find a quarry that looks like steps leading up. This square-looking hole is nothing but evidence that this was not meant to be a quarry left by the unknown ancient builders. Did ancient people just cut away from the top and leave 1000 blocks of stones before deciding to go wide and deep at the same time? After that, they quarried from the side to meet in the middle. No matter how you think ancient people did this, it is simply not our human logic way of doing things. This is more like a tunnel digging project than a quarry for building houses. This is a striking similarity you can find at Longyou Grottoes in the province of Zhejiang in China. You can see from the satellite view that the rectangular holes are basically cut from the top. In China, these caves are called grottos, but we don't know who was worshipped here despite it is being called a grotto. If you have been told that this is a quarry, then the first impression will seem to agree with what you see. But you have to look at the marks on the wall to determine what kind of tools were used here. This section of the walls shows that the machine went through the bedrock horizontally. If you take a closer look, you will be puzzled at how the machine works. It is a machine that goes horizontally with a raking motion that goes diagonally left to right or right to left in a curved motion. If you see this mark left on the wall, you know this wasn't done by humans because we don't have this tool. This method of removing bedrock is responsible for pretty much the entire area. If mainstream were to say that the ancient local inhabitants did this with chisels, then where are the chisel marks? Take a closer look at the marks on this section of the wall and you can see that there are two rows of rectangular holes in vertical formation. There is no reason to have these marks, which I loosely call gear track marks. This is nothing but evidence of an advanced civilization doing things we will never understand. Also equally interesting is that there is a horizontal line that looks odd for a quarry. I don't know what tools were used to leave such a mark, but my guess is it was done by a rock melting technology. At San Andrea Prio in Italy, there is a similar horizontal line that went across the front of a cave. This site has the typical creepy caves and tunnels, not of human architecture but more like a burrowing animals would do. In India, there is a cave temple which is basically like a giant boulder that pops out of the ground. It is one of those rock-cut Hindu cave temples. But the groove on the top at Kotukal Cave Temple seems to be a mark left by the unknown ancient builders as if to remind us that they were here and gave us religion. From India to Italy and many more megalithic sites around the world, this deep gash is probably a signature left by the mysterious megalithic culture to remind us that they were here first and did something we will never understand. At Bazda Cave, it is easy to believe that this was once a quarry because someone cut some rocks out for their own use or for sale. But if we care to look at the ceiling, some parts are telltale signs of an unknown tool went through the roof. The curved striation reminds me of those in Longyou Caves in China. At Longyou Grottoes in Zhejiang province of China, we have all the tool marks similar to those at Bazda Cave in Turkey. The striations on the ceiling is one of them. It is definitely a machine that rakes in any direction and therefore it can also curve as it moves forward. There is little to no doubt at all that the tool marks on the wall proves they were done by the unknown ancient builders. Bazda Caves cover a huge area and just by walking around, you can find that there are many areas on the wall that shows those who left those marks are out of this world in terms of technology and out of mind if all they wanted was stone blocks. The photo on the right shows the horizontal striations that I just mentioned, while the zoom-in photo on the left is like someone would do if they have trowels that mold a soft surface like clay. This photo shows a very high cutout that looks like an entrance. How did anyone cut blocks of stones starting from the bottom if you were to continue from here? Look at the top on the right side. Someone was trying to cut the block out from the top. It would be very challenging to continue from here and bring down and drag it to nearby city as building material. If you start from the top, why would you start straight from the cliff, which is also not very logical? While it seems logical to some people that this was left behind by ancient people after quarrying for building materials, it is very hard to imagine why ancient people would do that. The usual suspect that the civilization that took a slice off the wall is the three vertical tool marks on the wall. But there is another strange tool that was deployed here. Let's take a look at this nice horizontal cut. The machine that went horizontally has raking motions which cuts diagonally in a unique way. It can cut from top left to bottom right and change direction to top right to bottom left. If we can figure out this machine, we might be able to figure out who did it. From top of the cliff to the bottom at ground level, a great amount of bedrock was removed with rock cutting tools we are not familiar with. From north to south and east to west, tunnels were created zigzagging in random directions, proving it was not a quarry purpose. Entrances were cut out from high and wide to low and narrow, showcasing a method illogical to human nature. Something happened in the past and it was lost in history. If truth be told, it will sound like myths and legends and will be passed down as such or not at all. This place is so randomly cut and sliced, it will not make sense no matter how you want to dissect its logic. Bazda Caves and Longyou Grottoes are approximately 7,700 kilometers or 4,800 miles apart, but the tool marks on both sides are the same. Whoever did this were definitely international travelers. Well, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this short presentation on Bazda Cave where it has more to do with China than chisel. See you in the next video and have a wonderful day. This is Berniong signing out. Sonra Guru Surus Gule Gule.